I'm very optimistic about it. I think it's going to be a really good year, and the rates are starting to go down too, so I feel good.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Break It Down with Braydon. I got Jonah Joffe on with me today. Jonah, thanks for joining.
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Get a little bit closer to the mic, though, just so we could hear you. So Jonah and I have known each other, probably 5-6 years, something like that, since Jonah joined the 2030 Club. I guess, how long has it been now? 4 years?
It's kind of crazy that a little over 4, almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
It is wild. Yeah, you've probably seen him on all your bus stops out there and just cranking it in the real estate world. And
if I'm doing my job, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And kind of the big name in the Arcadia Valley, and just a great guy, and it's been good to get to know you over the years.
It's been fun, man.
So Jonah and I are in the Scottsdale Saguaros together, and Jonah's got the privilege of chairing our upcoming event, Agents Benefiting Children, and tell everybody a little bit about that.
So Agents Benefiting Children is an event where we try to this is for the residential side.
Yep.
The whole side is called the Olympiad, and we focus on bringing residential and commercial real estate agents together to fundraise for local children's charities. Agents Benefiting Children gets about 400 to 500 realtors that come out, lenders, title companies, realtors, everybody within our industry, and it's a 3-month-long fundraiser that leads up to an Olympiad, actually at a Scottsdale Stadium, where you come out and you play dodgeball, cornhole, just a bunch of field games, food, drinks, and just have a great day sort of as a thank you for the teams that are fundraising.
Love it. How did you get involved with the Saguaros?
You, actually. I guess when I look back at it, being from here, I kind of wanted to meet some new guys, and I always have been involved in charities, and I heard about the Saguaros, and at the time, the Scottsdale 2030 Club, and you and I went out and grabbed coffee, and you kind of explained to me a little bit about what you guys do a little more, and it's just been an awesome opportunity since I came in, and you've been a great leader for me through that. But being able to get involved, especially on the ABC side, and give back, and I think it's important, especially like when you're from here. And I've been fortunate in my life. I've loved living here, and I think I've been able to take advantage of the city. So I want to give back and allow others to do the same.
Love it. Talk a little bit about how teams can get involved and what that kind of looks like.
Yeah. So the way teams get involved, whether it's you do your full brokerage or you just do your small team, it's a team of 8 people. So it's 6 men and 2 females at the bare minimum, but you can differentiate that however you want.
Yep.
Come to me. Braydon, you can kind of share my email, but it's jjoffe@saguaros.com, and we'll get you set up with a team. We'll assign you a liaison, and then we'll help you fundraise and introduce you to other realtors and other people at our captains meetings, and that's kind of how it goes.
Cool. What does the fundraising look like? If I was a team, how do I fundraise?
There's a lot of different ways. So we have sponsorships available for not only the Olympiad, but for our new tournament. It's called Cards for Kids. And that's actually a poker tournament at Hangar 1 on March 25th. And then other teams host events. So whether it's March Madness, Super Bowl squares, auctions, percentage nights at restaurants, there's really a wide range of ways you can do it.
Cool. So if I was a real estate team and I wanted to host a client appreciation party or a comedy night to kind of get my constituents out there to kind of raise money or whatever, that's something that I could do, is just kind of host my own event?
100%. Okay. So, and we'll assist you with it. So you host your own event, and then you come to us and we say anything we can do to help you run the event. Yep. But yeah, a lot of people do client appreciation events, and it's sort of killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Love it. What other ways are they fundraising?
You brought up a comedy event. We actually have a group that's done a comedy event every couple of years, and they kill it. So they'll bring out a bunch of realtors, and they basically roast realtors in town, so everyone kind of knows each other.
Love it.
So that's a great time. I brought up March Madness. That's one way that I've been able to fundraise, and it's just super easy, and we did Super Bowl squares and things like that. But percentage nights, actually at restaurants, there's a ton of local restaurants that want to get involved, and you're bringing them business, and that's, I think, the easiest way to do it.
Yep. What about any raffle tickets or something like that?
Yes, so we have a relationship with Wright Toyota and Valley Toyota dealers, which is fantastic, where we sell raffle tickets, and the winner of the raffle will get either $20,000 to a car, or there's a cash out option as well. So we'll do raffle tickets for that, and then there's GA tickets that are available to both Cards for Kids and ABC. So that's different.
I've had
ways
some
to-
questions asked about that actually. So what does that look like if somebody wasn't on a team but they just wanted to go attend the Olympiad?
So basically what we have, it's called a beer garden. And for $200, you can come out to the beer garden, get to meet everybody, kind of enjoy the day. And it's a way, the reason we started doing it is because there are people that either don't have a big enough team or their team's too big with their brokerage where they still want to be a part of it and meet people. So yeah, that's sort of the thought, is that you'll come out. You won't be participating in the games, but we do have cornhole and some other stuff in our beer garden, and it's live music, and it's fun, and it's food, and you still get to enjoy the event.
Just like a spectator town where they
Yeah,
can come out
for
and
sure.
network with everybody, but not necessarily compete in the games.
Well, and especially for, like, we've had lenders that want to do it because it's a great way for them to come out and meet agents. I mean, we've got a few hundred agents out there. Why wouldn't you come take advantage of that opportunity?
Yeah. So I'm picking up, there's three things. So they could either sell raffle tickets, they could host their own events, or they could sell sponsorships for the Olympiad itself. Is that kind of
correct.
The main three?
Those are the main three. However, I've seen a wide variety of ways to fundraise, and it's our job to help teams fundraise as much as we possibly can. So there's a whole lot of creative ideas, and if people have ideas, we're happy to help.
Yep. And then in years past, I believe it was mostly just real estate kind of based teams.
Yeah.
You guys have kind of opened it, you and Sean have kind of opened it up a little bit now to where if it's a company that's looking to kind of have some community or some camaraderie across their company or whatever, it's a good opportunity for them to use this Olympiad as one of those kind of events, if you would. Is that kind of something you want to elaborate on?
Yeah, for sure. So I think you kind of started this, but the event really has grown so much over the last 5-6 years. And my co-chairman, Sean Doyle, and I were talking about it, and we just want to raise as much money as humanly possible. So we don't want to get rid of the event, but why not allow other teams to participate?
Yep.
Why wouldn't we bring in inspection companies or people in the tech industry? For us, it's all about come out there, fundraise, have fun, and do it for a good cause.
Yep.
So we've definitely opened it up, and we've actually brought in a couple charity partners as teams as well, which has been, this is the first year we've done that, and it's worked really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are some upcoming dates that people would need to know about?
So March 25th is going to be Cards for Kids.
Yep.
April 14th is going to be the actual Olympiad. We will have another captain's meeting the second week of March. And that's going to be at Schmooze in Old Town Scottsdale. So if you want to get involved in that, reach out to me and I'll get you set up with a team and kind of explain a little bit more about it.
Cool.
And then we've got about 7 events right now planned for the next 30 days.
Okay.
So they're starting to pile up.
One of the things I always hear about are like the bugaboos or whatever of people wanting to not start a team is, well, I don't want to host my own event. That seems like a big undertaking or something like that. So I think you guys having kind of really taken Cards for Kids to the next level and allowed them to kind of sell on that. Can you touch a little bit more on how they would get credit for selling Cards for Kids as well?
Sure. So the way we look at it, it's all the money's going to the same place. So whether you raise money at Cards for Kids, that's going to, on the residential side, that's going to go to your ABC team. We're going to try to bring in as much money as humanly possible. And the thought is maybe it's easier to go to someone and sell them a seat at the poker table or sell them a red carpet sponsor or just general admission tickets because a poker tournament's always kind of fun.
Yep.
So that's an easier way for people to fundraise if your lender isn't wanting to write a check.
Love it.
Yeah.
So that's, again, on the 25th.
That's going to be on March 25th at Airport Hangar 1.
Okay.
There's still some tickets available for that, and it's going to be a fantastic event this year.
Yeah, it's the last couple of years that Trent's kind of put it on at the Camelot Homes
Yeah.
and stuff, and it's just been an incredible event. And every time I'm like, wow, I really should have done a better job at pushing this because it's so much fun for all of us to go out and hang out and stuff. And it's always good food, good entertainment, good drinks. So it's definitely I'm excited for it to kind of
We're hoping for like
progress again.
750 people this year, which is, I mean, it's just gotten so much bigger, and it's now that's like a club sanctioned event. We're really putting some backing behind it. Trent started something that's pretty special, and it's been fun to see it grow and what it's turned into.
Yeah, it's become quite a badass event. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Just on its own. It's a lot of
kidding.
fun. Well, let's jump in a little bit to talk about real estate. So talk about the market. Talk about kind of how things are going for you guys on the Joffe group. What are you kind of seeing out there? Is it the world coming to an end like everyone's saying, or is this market still kind of
Contrary to Goldman Sachs' belief, I certainly don't think so.
Yep.
We're as busy as we've been in the last 6 months, 7 months. We've got about 20 deals in escrow right now.
Nice.
So what I'm seeing is actually I feel like we've hit a realistic point at pricing. So yes, there's still going to be houses that are way overpriced and underpriced, but for the most part, we kind of know where things are now. For a while, it felt like the Wild West, where it's just like, let's just throw a number at the board and see what happens.
Yep.
But the market's in a really good spot. I mean, there's still so much pent-up inventory in people that didn't find the house they were looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I both bought houses in the last couple of years. It was not an easy thing, even if you're a realtor in the industry.
Yep.
So it's nice now because you show a house and you go home and you talk to your wife. Should we buy a house, or what's the story there? So I think the market's in a great spot. I'll say our inventory's in a healthy spot. I mean, it's still a seller's market just because we don't have the inventory.
Yep.
I also think when you see events like Waste Management, the Super Bowl, and the Kevin Durant trade, what we saw 2 weeks ago is as wild as I've ever seen this town in my 26 years living here.
Yep.
So I'm very optimistic about it. I think it's going to be a really good year, and the rates are starting to go down too, so I feel good.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's at least for us, it's really picked up the last couple of weeks and even the last month or so, and just kind of seeing that volume come back. And the higher end stuff has always kind of been there. It's never really fallen off, which is kind of interesting. I mean, the Scottsdales, the Paradise Valleys, the major cities that everyone's really wanting to come to and migrate to is still flourishing, no question about it. So it's interesting times right now.
I feel like you guys are always a very good indicator of how the market is because you're seeing the back end of deals.
Yep.
Where like I see what I do on a daily basis, but you're seeing a ton of different agents. So
we see the volume, and so
Yeah.
everyone's always asking that. They're like, "Oh, kind of tell us what do you see?" Because we're kind of more of a better indicator than most, just because
Sure.
I mean we're doing more volume than everybody. We should be at least, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I see it kind of back to kind of getting good again, and I'm excited for
It's
things.
just such a desirable place to live.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not going away.
You talked about buying a new house. Talk about kind of what that whole process went with, because you scraped your old house and built a whole new house. So
Yeah, that was a
that
lot of
process?
fun. It's always going to be stressful, but I think it's important to have the right people around you.
Yep.
I was fortunate enough that I'd helped people go through this process before, but we actually bought our house from the person we were renting it from and decided to do a ground up new build. And right after we tore it down, we're like, I guess we're doing this.
Oh shit! Here we go.
But we couldn't be happier with it, honestly. And I think, again, it's just really important to not only trust the people you're working with, but ask questions.
Yeah.
I sell houses on a day-to-day basis. I'm in a lot of them. I didn't know half the stuff they were talking about. So I had to rely on other people.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to be able to do that.
What was the biggest thing you learned going through the process yourself?
I would say how much I didn't know about the actual building process.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of a wide answer, but it's the little things that I didn't know about the true house. Like, I can show you a house and I can point out the things that I feel are important to people, but really what goes into it.
It's insane. It really is. Yeah, I've got a buddy that's building a 30,000 square foot house. It's his biggest house he's ever built. And I try to find at least once a month to stop by there and just ask him questions, because it's insane. The amount of stuff that goes into a property like that is just astronomical. The amount of technology, software, just everything is crazy. They have lights in that house that change based off of your mood. So literally you'll walk into the house and the lighting will change to make you happier, essentially.
That's a lot of labor.
That's a lot of labor.
That's a
And,
lot
like,
of
all this, like,
labor.
the fact that I didn't even know that stuff was out there. And then they're
Yeah.
putting like just all kinds of stuff. I'm sure you've seen a lot of it in like the higher end stuff, but it's just crazy what they're doing now to houses.
Especially here. I mean, you look back 4 or 5 years ago, the idea of a 20 or 30,000 square foot house was wild. There's a ton of them now. There's 4 going on in Arcadia. I mean, $1,000 a foot at one point was like, we're not going to get there. There's like 100 homes that are listed at $1,000 a foot right now.
Yep.
Just in Arcadia MPV. I mean, we're adapting to what people want. And so it's an interesting time to buy and sell here. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it seems like the spec houses are flying off the shelves.
They're coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Land is starting to sell again. So we just did a couple land deals, and it was dry for a while. I mean, it almost was like overnight. The spigot just turned off, and it's turned back on because I think people have a basic understanding of where rates are going to be now. There's not as many unknowns.
Yep.
There's always going to be unknowns in our industry, but
Sure.
I think we've got a pretty good idea as to where things are.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think you nailed it too with like prices. It's not like things are just like falling off the roof. You know, prices are pretty much staying where they are. If not, they're starting to trickle back up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think people just needed to see that it's not like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. I think there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that a lot of people have questions on right now. With, you know, the the derailment of all these trains and everything happening, and with Russia and China and everything. And
A lot of things flying above us, apparently.
yeah, all these balloons and everything. There's just so much stuff to be distracted by, I guess. But it seems everyone's just got to continue.
I stick to what I know.
Sticking on.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of. I've been having to focus on that more. Of like, all right, quit paying attention to all this shit that you can't really affect or have any input on, because at the end of the day, there's nothing really we can do about it. But it's just kind of wild what's going on, and I think people are just starting to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, there's always induced panic, right?
Yep.
And I think especially coming out of COVID, there were so many unknowns.
Yeah.
So I feel like things have settled a little bit. Yes, you still have got all the crazy stuff going in the world, but you're always going to.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
That's true.
On a day-to-day basis, I think things have calmed down quite a bit.
Yeah. No, definitely here in the States, no question about it.
Yeah.
Well, cool. What's your big goal for ABC?
$1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
It's for the Olympiad.
We want to
right?
raise, yes, we want to raise $1 million for the Olympiad.
Cool.
So that'd put us at over $2 million for the year, and it would go a long way.
I love it.
Yeah.
How can people get a hold of you if they want to get involved?
So you can email me at jjoffe@suarez.com,
Okay.
or you can call me at 602-626-0775. I'm sure you'll share that, but email, call me, text, I'll answer. So we're trying to bring in as much as we possibly can for this event, and it's all going to a really good place. So.
Love it. Yep, you guys heard it. Jonah Joffe is with the Joffe Group, also the captain this year for Agents Benefiting Children. Just an amazing guy. If you want to get involved with ABC, don't hesitate to reach out to him. It's just an amazing cause. All the proceeds go to local children's charities. The event's been going on for 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years, and this is, I think, year 20 for ABC and year 30 for the event.
Yeah, so just a ton of history behind the event. If you've never been out, it is probably the largest real estate community event that our town hosts every year.
It's as fun as anything I've been to.
Yeah, and in terms of like what you're going to do, you're just going to have a blast out at the Olympiad.
Yeah.
We just have a really good time. Like Jonah mentioned, we've got a beer garden this year, which kind of adds a cool little element. So we're going to have
live
spectators
music.
and live music, a home run derby competition, bocce ball, football throw, sack toss, you name it, just a lot of fun. So reach out to Jonah, get involved. We'd love to have you guys. And thank you very much for sticking around for another episode of Breaking Down Braydon. Jonah, thank you very much for coming on, bud.
Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it.